now. Yeah, ATM here, America's thinking man. That's what the government, our government, would like you to think and believe. Don't worry, be happy, we got your back, right? So let's talk about security today. Richard Reed, Omar Abdul Mutala, and the Tsarnaev brothers. What do they have in common? They're all terrorists. Richard Reed, shoe bomber. Omar, the underwear bomber. The Tsarnaevs, the Boston bombers. So what else do they have in common? The governments under which they lived all knew about them, had them on their list, but yet they were able to at least make attempts. The Tsarnaevs were somewhat successful, unfortunately, to do what they did. Richard Reed gets to the airport. The TSA of the country he's in looks at him, goes, "Hey, you look a little disheveled, you don't have any suitcases, we're not letting you on the plane." Comes back the next day, this is how good their security works, they let him on the plane. So he tries to blow up his shoes, but his shoes are wet, they won't ignite. The passengers, not the government, the passengers take this guy down. Omar, his father goes to the authorities, says, "Hey, you know, my kid may try to do something crazy. You got to watch him. He's on our no-fly list, but yet he gets on a plane." Okay, he's got explosives wrapped around his Johnson. Tries to ignite them, burns himself. The passengers, again, passengers take him down. Tsarnaev brothers, all right, they come to this country claiming asylum, their families. The Russians tell our CIA, our FBI, watch these kids. Our government brings them in, interviews them, says, "Hey, you seem like nice kids. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you money, send you to college, you know, take care of you, don't worry about it." The same country they're claiming asylum from, they go back and forth to visit their friends and relatives. They go on vacation there. Okay, that's how much afraid they were to go back. So these guys put some explosives in pressure cookers, wrap them up, and they set them off. Unfortunately, kill some people and do some maiming. And but what does our government do? They go, "Hey, folks, give us your cameras. Let's take a look, see if we can figure out who did this." They go through all the pictures and photos and stuff that they collect. They find two kids look like likely suspects. And then instead of remembering or going back to their database and saying, "We actually know who these kids are," they go out to the public and go, can you help us? Do you know who these kids are?" That's how competent our government is. Nobody talks about that. I don't know why. So while they're trying to catch these kids, they kill the older brother. The younger brother's on trial now. Richard Reed, Omar, they're in prison for life. The kid, the younger Tsarnaev, will probably get a life sentence. So that's the government telling you, don't worry, be happy. Our government is reactive. Most governments are. They're not proactive. On the proactive side, what our government does is they set up sting operations. They take young kids, like the kid that was arrested, I don't know, a couple of months ago for wanting to blow up the Congress or something like that. And they find these kids who got a beef with the government, don't like them, and they infiltrate their way into their lives. And then the kid didn't have any money, so the government gives the kid money to go out and buy guns and explosives. My question is, with that kid, how is he going to get into the federal building with guns and pipe bombs? How is he going to do that? I don't know. You got to ask yourself that. But anyway, then the government comes out and goes, "Hey, we caught this kid, he was making pipe bombs." Well, that's because you gave him the money to make the pipe bombs and go out and buy the guns. He probably wouldn't have been able to do that on his own, or if you just watched him, maybe, you know, nothing would ever happen because he wouldn't have been promoted or pushed into it by our government. So that's how they take care, that's how they are proactive. Me, I'm proactive. But I believe in the rights of the people to keep and bear arms, the Second Amendment, which shall not be infringed. And I take care of myself. I watch myself. I take care of my house. I am proactive. And my two best buddies, Smith and Wesson, they help me out. So think about it. Do you want the government that allowed the shoe bomber, the underwear bomber, and the Sarnaya brothers, who they knew about, to actually kill people and maim people? Do you want them watching you? Or do you want your two best buddies, Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson, to take care of you? It's up to you. ATM, America's thinking man here. Do, 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 do. Don't worry, be happy. The government has got your back. God bless America and the Second Amendment.